Sounds of Cultura, SOC, Celebración Artística de las Américas, known as CALA, launched its inaugural CALA Festival to coincide with Hispanic Heritage Month. It's a celebration of Latino arts and culture. The Phoenix Symphony is taking part in the CALA Festival with a special concert. With me to talk about what they're doing is Jim Ward, interim president and CEO of the Phoenix Symphony. Jim, thanks for being on our show.
Thanks so much, Jose.
Let's talk first a little bit about the symphony.
Yes.
It's had some difficult times, but things seem to be on the right course right now.
Absolutely. We've had a fairly tumultuous time given the economy, and not too different from other arts organizations. When I came aboard, we had to do a lot of spade work and triage to keep the music alive in our community. And part of that included renegotiating a contract with our musicians who had taken a 19% pay cut 2 years ago and were due for a restoration of their salary, although we just couldn't handle that at this point in the trajectory of the symphony. And our musicians agreed to sacrifice that restoration for the sake of the community. And we've had a glorious opening with Beethoven's Ninth a couple of weeks ago that was sold out. And we are very, very excited about the CALA Festival. But it was really due to our musicians making the sacrifice to keep music alive here for Phoenix.
So we're on a pretty good trajectory right now.
Well, we've stabilized our finances. And, it's a tough economy out there. So we're not quite out of the woods. But I think with the support of the community, we can definitely get there. And I urge anyone, if I can make an aside, that whether you enjoy symphonic music or not, please come down and support us and support those musicians who sacrificed their salary in order to keep that music alive. And I think with the support of the community, we'll absolutely make it out of the woods.
And your reference to community is important because the more traditional, more established arts like the symphony, like the opera and so forth, one of the problems they're having is the aging of their traditional client base.
That's true. There's a natural aging that does occur, although people then age into it as well. But I think one of the things that we feel very strongly about at the Phoenix Symphony is that we are serving our community. We have a mission to help revitalize Arizona and to do something unique with what we have, which is unique, is music, to revitalize our community. But in order to do that, we need to reflect the community that we serve. And I'm not sure we've done a very good job of that in the past number of years, which is why we got very interested in becoming a part of the CALA Festival.
Just give us a few words about the festival itself and then the specific role that the symphony is playing.
Well, the CALA Festival is a celebration of our Hispanic heritage here in our community, and it's a multi-month project and collaboration amongst a number of different and varying arts organizations in our community. We happen to be one of the lead-offs in this. I met with Myra Millinger of the CALA Festival and different folks and began to explore the possibility of joining in and being a part of it. And we have come up with, I think, a very exciting program.
And let's talk about that. It's Doc Severinsen, who's had a long-time relationship with the Phoenix Symphony, but he hasn't been here in years.
That's right. Doc Severinsen was our Pops conductor, a resident Pops conductor for many, many years, but retired about 5 years ago, and he hasn't been back since. So we're very excited to bring him back, but Doc's not coming back alone.
We had a picture of him on the screen with his new companion.
Absolutely, the San Miguel Five, which are some great jazz, fusion, Hispanic, Latin musicians that are regionally very well known in Mexico and have toured quite extensively. And we're glad that we can bring them to our metropolitan area for people to enjoy.
Now, it's a very interesting story as to how this all came about. As I understand it, Doc Severinsen retired officially to Mexico, living in San Miguel Allende, which is one of the most beautiful cities on the planet, in central Mexico. And that's how he met these guys. Tell us the story.
Well, absolutely. Doc, I think, and with all due respect, he's in his 80s, and I think he had retired to live a great life, and it's a beautiful area down there. And and literally sort of bumped into these guys. And when music is in your blood, it's a tough thing to walk away from. And I think Doc became excited about jamming with these folks, and one thing led to another, and here we are with a great opportunity to see this group.
Tell us a little bit about the group itself, the San Miguel Five.
Well, the San Miguel Five is a group of five artists that I think have cobbled together a very unique sound made up of the roots of the tradition of San Miguel, where they're from, but layered on with other Hispanic influences and then fused again with a jazz feeling that is very unique. And you don't hear that very often. I've been very successful with that sound. And then you layer on top of that, of course, Doc Severinsen and what he can do with his virtuosity as a trumpet player, and I think you've got a winning combination.
Now, I know the San Miguel Five have toured around Mexico, and that in the United States, Doc Severinsen and the group have played at places like Carnegie Hall and other major venues. How'd you get them here?
Well, look, I think in collaboration with the Kala Festival, we approached them, and they're very eager to spread the kind of unique musical sound that they have, and coming to our community, which is clearly laced with great Hispanic culture, it seemed to be a natural thing for them to do, and they're very excited to be here.
Now, we've got on the screen the performance dates. Any recommendations to people? Get your tickets early, or anything else you can tell people about the performances coming up this weekend?
Absolutely. Well, they're going to be with us Friday and Saturday night. Friday's performance is at 7:30. Saturday is at 8 o'clock. We do have tickets, so but they're going fast. So please contact the Symphony at our box office, or go to our website at www.phoenixsymphony.org, and you can purchase tickets right on the website as well.
We don't have too much time left. I do want to talk a little bit more, though, about the symphony's efforts to make outreach to the Hispanic community. Why is that important?
Well, listen, it is a community in which we live in, and success comes when you reflect that community. The Hispanic audience is extremely important to the economic base of our state, and certainly culturally as well. But it's not just the Hispanic audience. We reach out to different constituencies in our community. We certainly, through our education program, reach into Title I schools, and we bring them to our Symphony Hall. We go on to the reservation with our One Nation program, where we help retention of high school kids through playing instruments. We celebrate music with Abbraccio la Musica, with Rosie's House, with disadvantaged kids. So there are many things that we do to try to service our community, and this is yet another one.
And on that note, Jim Ward, Interim President and CEO of the Phoenix Symphony, will end our interview. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jose.
That's our show for tonight. From all of us here at Horizonte, I'm Jose Cardenas. Have a good evening.